Mike Gill, how would you like me to break this all wide open? What if I can prove every accusation I've made about the corruption in horse racing, the briberies of public officials, law firms, attorneys, and the corruption? Now, I'm not going to just make that accusation or those accusations. I'm going to prove them to you. Are you ready? And I'm going to tell you how they're doing. This is why they were so afraid that I potentially could find this out. Now, I didn't find this out by myself. I've had victims groups taking information from certain people that need protection. But I did put some of the pieces together, and I'm going to share them with you. I'd share them with the FBI, but the problem is they're running cover for Penn National and Cantor, their wire service. That's right. Last week, I showed you on a video that Bruce Dupay has gotten information that would open all this up. You see, they're going to have arrests in Pennsylvania, just as they did a couple days ago in Massachusetts. And it's going to be a small gaming ring. Don't believe it. The real culprit is Penn National. You want proof? I'll prove it. Bruce, it's gotten back to me that you say I'm in dire trouble. You must not have got the memo. You know what the memo says? My life is threatened every week. You read the text. Remember the evidence I gave you? Remember? You're the halfwit, right? Well, let me help you with your investigation. The clerk of scales. That's somebody who works for Penn National. Jockeys were 135 pounds. Right, Rudy? What about the clocker? Right? He works for Penn National also. Jenkins, the racing secretary, he was putting the races together with these guys. How about the licensing commission? Miss Bodella? She's only registering illegal aliens, including the jockeys, and taking bribes. Now, don't we know that? Because I know they've given it to you. Let's go on. Remember Donnie Brown running that gambling syndicate that I said? Well, I'm going to tell you how they do it. Here you go, sports fans. They do it through PayPal. They transfer the money, Cantor Gaming, to eBay accounts. Except for there's really no transactions out of these eBay accounts. See, they're money transfers. Let me show some to you. Now I'm going to have you look at this evidence with me. Bruce, isn't it so? The gate people, don't they work for Penn? And aren't those sneaky bastards medicating the horses right in the starting gate so it doesn't test? You know that's true. Those are Penn National employees. But let's take a look at Penn National. And at Cantor, remember that's the wire service. Now what you're seeing and what I'm looking at now, you see actual eBay accounts. And these eBay accounts called Light Body, you see that? I'll scroll down. You're looking at actual eBay accounts. Except for, they're bogus. There's no transactions coming out of them. You see those numbers to the right? That's the amount of transactions, except for nothing's coming out. You see? It's money transfers. It's bets. It's bribe. So they take through PayPal and they send it into these false eBay accounts. Now, Light Body. All right, let's see who else we got. We got Wynn. I think he's got some explaining to do. Gattinari. Remember those names. Donacio. You see those? I'm tapping through them. All right? Indonacios. Now, you know what I want you to do? These are all transactions. Okay. You see that? King Arthur. Turns out that's a strip club up in Massachusetts. Then I'm going to have you look at an article. There you go. Wind lied over Boston. Crime links. I want you to look at those names on there. The New England family Costa Nostra. Wow. Turns out that these guys own 3 strip clubs. Do you remember that one that said King Arthur's? Turns out they own that. Foxy Lady, Glass Slipper, they own those too. And it seems they've been using Cantor Gaming to place bets and transfer money into eBay accounts. Or I don't know. Let's take a look. You see Lightbody on there? I do. You see Donacio? Daganari? Right. Costa Nostra using Cantor Gaming and making bets. There it is. Now, let's keep going. Let's go through the article. Now, look at these. PayPal accounts. These are going to state troopers. And look the account numbers up. Cantor, offshore, Singapore, huh? And there we go. Penn National. You got one too. Now, this is very interesting. You see this CG technology? See all the transactions down there? In fact, that one there in the bottom has got over 2,000. You know who those people are? They are state officials of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, state police, judges, senator. How do you like that? That's payoffs. That's illegal betting and payoffs. See? All of them. Mob.com. You see this Seabiscuit? That's Suffolk Downs going through Cantor Gaming and making bets. Oh, and there we got Penn National. Remember, private Penn Nation. They're using, look where they're going, Thailand, Germany. They're using fake eBay accounts to transfer money and pay politicians, law firms, bribe people. Their associates are the Costa Nostra. Who is Penn National? You think about that. See how they're opening up casinos? What did the mob do? Own judges, politicians? What's happening right now? Isn't that who's blocking me? Corrupt judges and politicians that I told you and law firms? They're getting paid. Those accounts were from Mass and New Hampshire getting paid through Penn National. Right. Look, and these are the variations. Loan Shark, Loan Shark 3, Cash Cow. Boy, you gotta say, you guys are creative. And this one I take particular interest in. Pollock. This couldn't be Ray Pollock, could it? Because I got one with 918 transactions. Right. Illegal gambling. So that's how they do it. PayPal, money transfer to eBay, right? Using Cantor Gaming's wire service that got closed down last year, which I question how could they, Penn National, get a license in Massachusetts knowing that they had ran an illegal wire service. In fact, I remember reading, did the Gambinos own part of that? Wow, right. So, here's proof that they're betting illegally. And Brown, didn't he own bars? They bet through those bars, just like these guys use the strip joints up here to bet through. Can you say bookies? Right. So when I told you those years ago that they were holding my horses, you understand why? They couldn't have an honest guy in a race. Not when they're making these kind of bets. These races were fixed. And that's what I was catching. And this is what it's come down to. I'm going to show you here. There's over 200,000 transactions. You know what? There's state workers, probation, trial judges, prosecutors, attorneys, construction companies, bookmakers, state troopers. In fact, the state trooper has their own account. Troopers Cantor Offshore Gaming 1-GDOC. That's the payoffs. What I'm going to do is give all this information to the FBI, Internal Affairs in Washington. Because you've got some work to do. Don't forget the state's attorney, Kakavis. You know, Rockingham's going to want a casino. Who do you think they're bribing up here? You think Bill Sheen ain't going to get paid? Right, Gene? Right. What's the bet? You see that Mass New Hampshire account? It doesn't go back to there. All we got to find out is who owned the eBay accounts. And then you find out all the criminals. Just happens to be judges, senators, law firms. You have seen me exercise my right to free speech. Well, I'm home all alone. You've broken into my house many times. Except for I'm also going to exercise my right to bear arms. So you're welcome to come by. Just one of us isn't leaving. Thank you.